Thank you, Serene, for the invitation. Uh, Assalamu alaikum and very good evening. My name is Hanis bin Abdul Razak, and I'm from NWKA Architects. So basically, when I've contacted by Serene, actually she was saying it's only like a sharing session with students, but I didn't know it's actually a PAM public lecture, which I'm very honored to be invited to sharing the stage with. Uh, Great architects from local and also Singapore. Uh, okay, so without further ado, I think I just share some of my works where I did with NWK Architects and also some other personal works which I did in some competitions internationally. So basically, I just want to share is like my architectural journey is not only this everything is white, not on commercial. Basically, it's like a yin yang of architecture. There are the commercial parts which really make money, and the other parts it's just for actually passion in competition. So currently, I'm working with NWK Architects. In our office is in Ara Damansara, and I'm currently leading the design studio head, which we have around six in the team, basically. But the whole office is actually we have like 40 plus members, and they are young people, and I mean we are ranging from younger to senior levels. Or yeah, that's the in the white shirt. That's my principal, Mr. Architect Ng Wai Kiong, and these are like half of our office. Okay, so the first project I want to share is actually this Taylor's International School, and for today's event, actually, it's a great place where yeah we came to the school again. So for this one, I just want to share on this Taylor's International School. So this project is actually recently completed in last year. Uh, but when I joined NWK, actually, they've done the phase one. So phase one is actually the first one block of the schools, and also all the other amenities like swimming pools, cafeteria, and so on. So when I joined the company, actually the client asked for to design for phase two of the campus. So the phase two is actually an auditorium and one block of academic. So the brief is actually a bit tough because the building itself is quite iconic already. So they want another iconic auditorium out of iconic building. So yeah, what we're trying to do is we create this simple form because my boss always said is iconic building normally we have this 3 second rules. So if you can draw in 3 seconds, then it's it's a it's a nice form to remember already. It's easier to remember. So so the idea is actually to create this auditorium, which will be an iconic building that really from far you can see. Uh, from because the school also ran out the spaces for outside events. So the idea is actually to really make this iconic so that in people from outside can view the thing. So it's recently completed. This is how it looks now. Uh, yeah, we've created this form, but like a Voronoi form to create the cut for the facade. So the idea it creates like a two face of the buildings, which during the day you can see the form, the Voronoi pattern in white in color. But at night we illuminate the facade and it creates like a lantern, which is quite hard because we need to make sure the light is even. So we create these LED lightings, and then it illuminates the facade from behind, so you can see the silhouette of the facade. Okay, that's the first project. The second one I would say is some of the earliest work with NWK. This is Canvas Soho. This is like 450 square foot uh, Soho, which located in Cyberjaya. So basically, the brief is just designing a very efficient layout. So we've come out with this point block towers, and it's just sitting on the two level of car parks. And the idea is to make the building doesn't really, I mean, normally in high rise, the killer is actually your car park. So what we did, we tried to make everything in on lower floors, and you don't really see the car park podium. And currently, it's almost completed. This is, I think, taken earlier this year. I think will be the VP is in September, if I'm not mistaken. That's another view of it. Okay, the third project is actually OUM, or Open University Malaysia. So in NWKA, we actually did a lot of education facilities as well. So for this project, we've been invited to compete with some other architects. We've tried to create a really interesting form for this one, but the idea is actually the same, because all of our education project, what we're trying to do is to create an student-centric campus rather than admin-centric. Yeah, so for this one, we have this three wings, and we have one hostel tower behind. So as you can see, what we're trying to do, we try to create this really lively student center in the middle of the campus. Unfortunately, we didn't get the project. I think I think looking at the form and everything, they are not comfortable with the cost. Okay, but it's really an enjoying experience, I would say. The next one is Psychiatry in Putrajaya. So this is also a competition. We've been invited by PJH, Putrajaya Holding. So the brief is simple. It's just to create this mixed development. So rather than just creating this simple or the same building everywhere, our idea is actually we're trying to get what are the things that we can bring to Putrajaya. We're thinking of this cycling experience in Putrajaya, because Putrajaya is really a cycle center, I would say. So the idea is to create this whole ground floor as retail and also some park and some car park below. So from ground floor, it's more like an alfresco dining experience, some cafes, some retail. We've tried to connect all the building with cycle park. The next project is Real School. Real School in Shah Alam. This is also a competition, because we've always invited to a competition. For this project, we've won the competition, and the client decided to go with ours lah. But after we've come out with this is a budget burst. So so we come out with another options of design. So right now, this is the current design. This is currently in building submission. Other side of architecture that I will really like. Some will say it's like a dystopian vision or something like that. But I believe we need to think about it as well. So the first one is Home on a Drift. So this project is actually a PEM competition, a temporary shelter competition. So we've won honorary mention for this project. So the idea is simple. Instead of just creating or finding a space, land which is very scarce in KL, so we've decided to just use what we have, which is right now there's a lot of abandoned what do you call that, metro bus or in KL. So we've decided to just using that bus again and just to create with some different modules. So the first one, as you can see there, that's the sleeping modules. The other one is like a kitchen, and the third one is like the toilet module. So basically, it can be like a transit center for homeless. The second one is Oi Poloi. We call it Oi Poloi, which means common people. So this project is actually we did for this HYP Cup in Hong Kong, and we've got another honorary mention as well. So the theme is architecture must disappear. So, so we're thinking of like in the future when everything is actually building is obsolete. So what will happen? And the current issue is actually the same as now, where all houses and property price is really expensive, and we, the younger generation, is actually can afford to buy a car rather than property. So, so, so we're thinking of that, and when in the future there's not much people will work in office, so we thought that yeah, everyone will stay in these pods. We're creating a pods, this pod. So this pod is actually will be connected to this infrastructure tower. The infrastructure tower is just actually to give power, water, and this basic necessities. So people actually can just plug in their pods to that infrastructure tower. Yeah. So yeah, we've been exhibit in some of other uh, I would say exhibitions locally and internationally, and yeah, that's the ideas lah basically. Okay, so this is another views which is actually the old building, the abandoned building will be used as the common spaces for people. Okay, I think this will be the last project I want to share. We call this Rhizome. This project is actually also a competition. We've did for D3 housing, future housing competition, and we also got the special mention for dystopian vision. What we've trying to create is actually this a machine or a system which still the issue is the same in the future. Everything is expensive, and we have this property or housing problems. So we've created this system that is, as you see, it will is a bit of a sustainable system basically. So the idea is the site is in KL, which is Sungai Klang, which we know now is actually a monsoon drain rather than a river, Sungai Klang. So the first set of wheels, I would say, at this site is like a concrete muncher. So the idea is to munch the concrete, and then this system will move, but very slowly. So after the concrete is munched, we will plant a bamboo tree. So after that, like 3 years or the back wheel will start to harvest the bamboo. So and then it will move along all the sungai. So yeah, you can see in the middle, that's the bamboo valley where the harvesting cart will harvest the bamboo. And the third wheel will be the bamboo treatment facilities and water incinerator and some other things. Yep. So for this one also, we've won some awards and been exhibited in also in PAM Center. I think last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, or last year. Yeah. So yeah, the idea is to get this. Even though we're working in this commercial architecture, which we have to work with people, I believe that we still need to think for the worst case scenario as well as an architect. Yep. Yeah, that's as another some of the cross section of the treatment facilities, which yeah, some of the images. So I think that's all from me. And yep, thank you very much. That's all for the session.